Today I'm going to show you how to make vinyl stickers. We've got this little southwestern cactus sticker. That'll be our example. I'm about to recreate it here using these materials that can be found in your kit. I've also got the tools of the trade, starting with the vinyl squeegee. This will be used to apply pressure, stick pieces of vinyl to each other. Got two marking pencils, one in white, one in blue. These are great because you can mark on the vinyl with them and then erase them. They wipe off with water or rubbing alcohol, aka hand sanitizer, if you have any of that handy. That also works. And then lastly, we got the craft knife, and then we've got our transfer tape, which is also known as pre-mask or application tape. And this is like masking tape, looks like masking tape, but it's a lot less sticky. So this is used for picking up the cut pieces of vinyls and laying it on other pieces of vinyl. So let's get started. We'll keep that in range, just as an example. So first, I'm going to draw this cactus shape. Let's just do a quick little cactus here. So I got that marked out with my marking pencil. Then I'm going to take the craft knife and I'm just going to trace over those lines. And I hold the craft knife like I hold a pencil, but instead of moving around like I do with a pencil, I'm always dragging it towards me. So I put the blade down and then I just drag it towards me. And when I get to curves, I could do like this. I can shift the piece of vinyl like that. Or I can kind of break it up into sections, kind of little angled cuts. However you want to do it is fine. I'm just kind of following these lines I drew rather loosely. So I've got them all scored with the blade. Now here's where I'm going to use that hand sanitizer, aka rubbing alcohol. I'm going to spray a little bit onto a paper towel, and I'm going to use that to remove the marking pencil. It's like a waxy colored pencil. You see the blue comes off. You can't see those lines anymore. And this is helpful because when I use the transfer tape, it'll stick better if that waxy surface isn't on there. It's nice and clean now. And I could have used water. I just prefer rubbing alcohol because it dissipates so quickly. So you don't have to worry about it being wet. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the section that I don't want, essentially all the area around the cactus. And this is a process called weeding. Like you would weed a garden, like you go through your garden and you take out the plants you don't want and you leave what you do want. So I'm actually got a plant. And I'm taking out everything around this cactus that I don't want. And I'm left with this little inverse piece. Now you might want to just throw this away, or if I wanted to make a second cactus sticker, I could save this, and I've got a piece of waxy paper that's included in the kit. This is like the backing. It's just a different color as this white. It's the same thing, it's wax paper, and I can lay down this sticker, this extra, the inverse cactus. And you see the vinyl just kind of lays down. It knows to go flat, it wants to lay flat, so it kind of just does that naturally. You don't have to worry about it too much, which is helpful. And I'll just put that to the side in case I want to make a second inverted sticker. Maybe, maybe not. So I've got my cactus. I'm not ready for that yet, but now next I'm going to mask it. I've drawn it, I've cut it, I've weeded it, and now I'm going to mask it. So I'm going to cut off a piece of transfer tape or application tape or pre-mask that's larger than the sticker. I'm going to lay it over the top. I'm just going to smooth it down first so there are no wrinkles. And then I take my squeegee and I really push it down. See how I'm holding that at a 45-degree angle? You just can't go over it too many times. You can't hurt it at this point. So got that, and you know, the piece of green was roughly the size of the background I'm going to use, but I'm going to trim it down just so there's not as much space around it. So I can kind of cut it out of the backing. So now I've got a smaller masked cactus that's ready to go. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to throw it away. If I wanted to be really frugal, maybe I could have tried to reuse that extra masking, but I've got enough here. And there's twice as much masking as there is vinyl in the kit, so that's so you can use it on the inverse, or you can just use it liberally. All right, next I'm gonna go with that mesa background, and I've already drawn it on here and I've already cut it out, so all I got to do is weed this. I can use my fingernail, or I could have used the craft knife. And look at that, it doesn't, oh, there we go. Sometimes you'll notice, or oftentimes, that maybe the cuts you made didn't connect, and so you'll have a hard time weeding, and you'll know because you won't be able to just peel it off really easily. I don't want to save this. That's just scrap. You don't have to save every piece of vinyl. You still see some marking on there from the marking pencil, so I'm gonna wipe that off. Get it nice and clean. Air dry it. It's already dry, that's perfect. And then once again, take the transfer tape, let's just call it that. Take the transfer tape, bigger piece than I need, lay it over, kind of smooth it out with my hand, make sure there's no wrinkles. And then I take the squeegee, and you can kind of see when you squeegee over it that the color kind of comes out when the pressure is applied. Like there, you can kind of tell you've pressed hard enough because there's not any space between the mask and the vinyl. And this time I'm going to leave the shape that I've already got cut out, so I'm just going to trim along the border. Okay, so we got that mesa ready to go. Get rid of this extra. That's trash. Now I'm going to do my first applying of a sticker to another piece of vinyl. So this, if I wanted just a mesa sticker, this would be good to go. This would be what I call a decal, just a single color vinyl cut out and masked. But I want to apply it to this blue. So what I'm going to do is instead of just peeling the backing all at once and trying to lay it down flat and hope that it doesn't wrinkle up, I'm going to peel just a little bit, and then I'm going to position it in place, and then I'm going to peel the rest and apply pressure with the squeegee as I go. So watch this. And another thing about peeling is someone taught me that you're not peeling the vinyl off the backing, you're peeling the backing from the vinyl. It's kind of a subtle difference, but it helps to keep the vinyl and the masking together. If you think about the vinyl and the masking being one part, and so you're peeling the backing from that part. Okay, look, I've peeled it back maybe a quarter of the way. And then I'm going to fold that down, fold that edge down so it's nice and clean. And look, here's what I'm going to do. So now the whole back of the sticker isn't trying to stick to the other piece, because once it sticks, it'll want to stay there. So you want to be sure of where you have it before you stick it down. And so this part where the backing has been peeled up is kind of up a little. And I like this. I want to have the blue kind of have that 1/4 inch border. So take my squeegee and apply it pressure just where the backing was peeled. And now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let you see. So I'm gonna peel this as I apply pressure. I could just peel it and try to smooth it, but this way it'll ensure that there's not any wrinkles or bubbles, which is kind of what you want to prevent. So I'm starting to peel the backing. I've got this in my other hand, and as I peel the backing, I'm pushing down. You might find it helpful to tape whichever piece you're applying it to, like this blue. I could have taped it down on the back, but you see what I did there? I peeled the back and I applied pressure as I went. And the more pressure you apply, the more guaranteed there won't be any wrinkles or bubbles. So let's see. And then I peel the backing. I peel the masking. Oh, it's looking pretty good. And I don't see any bubbles in there. Maybe right there, but sometimes you can just push bubbles out because there's just trapped air. Or you can take your craft knife and poke the bubbles and then push the air out. So I'm going to do the same thing with the cactus. I'm going to peel just at the base of it. I'm not going to peel the whole backing. I'm just going to peel a portion of it. And this way I can position it. So I kind of want it to be, I want the base to be a little lower down than like I've got it there. That looks pretty good. I could have it to the side maybe. Yeah. So I just push down with my finger like before. Then I come back with the vinyl squeegee and I apply pressure. Now I'm peeling the backing. I could peel the backing all at once and just have it hanging out like this and then push it down. That'll do. It's looking pretty good. And then this one I added the moon, but this time I'm going to add something a little different. Another piece I've got kind of pre-cut out, and you might have already guessed it because you saw, but it's just a little detail that I've already got cut out, and it's small enough that I'm not even going to mask it. It's this little steer horn, or steer skull. So that's what they're called, right? Steers. I don't know why there's always a dead steer skull in the desert, but that's what I've been led to believe. So to make it authentic looking, I'm gonna put this little steer skull right at the base to warn people that they are in the desert. And I don't know, this is where cows die. Who knows? Who knows? And look, I just applied that without the squeegee. I just did my finger and I think it came out okay. The moon I like the composition of the moon, but now since the white is down there, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take some yellow. Let's make the moon yellow in this one. Let's make it more of a crescent. I'm not even drawing it out, as you can see. I'm just gonna cut it out. And I'm cutting just deep enough to cut the vinyl. I'm not cutting all the way through. You see how the backing is still behind these? Sometimes you'll cut so hard that you do cut through, and that's okay. You can take some masking or some actual tape, which is good to have on hand, and just apply that to the back, and that'll help keep things in place. Especially if you've got a bigger sticker, that'll help when you come to peel it. But I'm just gonna pick this out like I did with the skull. Hopefully my cuts are okay. Yep, there we go. Whoop. And here's something I like to do. I like to just put it on the tip of my knife, and then I can place it like that. So how about right there? That looks pretty good. Once again, I don't even need the squeegee. Just push it down, but I'll come back and do it. And here's the thing too, a small piece like that, if I didn't like that, I could could try to peel it back up. You know, I think that was a waning moon. Let's say I wanted a waxing moon on this side, so still able to do that. And it, you know, you can peel these, you'll see, you can peel it to a certain point. The vinyl stretches, so it'll kind of lose its shape if you try to peel it too many times. But you know, if I was very careful, I might be able to get this skull back up or something. But so there's some forgiveness in these. Well, now let's see. Here's, you can tell I've cut this sticker before, but here's where I got my leftover steer skull. And I do want to make a second sticker of that, say. So let's do like this. I'm going to cut that out. And this is kind of going back to the inverse of the cactus. When you cut something out, not every time, but a lot of times you can get a second sticker by saving the inverse, the piece that you would have weeded. And so here I've got this steer skull. I'm going to straighten up these lines because I'm particular like that. And then what's a good color? White and yellow is not quite great contrast, but oh, here's some black. Might also find it handy to have some scissors on hand, because that's good for cutting the vinyl. So I kind of want to lay it on there, and maybe I want to round the edges. I like to do that. I like to round the corners. Kind of makes it official looking in my mind. And the corners are rounded. So what do I got to do? It's already weeded. I got to mask it. Take a little bit of masking, and maybe here's where you could use some scrap. Transfer tape that you have lying around. I've found you can reuse it a couple times, but maybe after the third time you'd be pushing your luck. So it's kind of annoying when you put down transfer tape and it doesn't pick up the vinyl, so be careful with that, trying to reuse this stuff. I know it's fun to be frugal and get the most out of your materials, but I recommend just using fresh application tape each time. And I'm going to call it something different every time just to confuse you. Transfer tape, aka application tape, aka pre-mask, aka masking. Oh my gosh, are you confused yet? Sorry. Trim it out again. And once again, it's transfer tape because it allows you to transfer the pieces as a whole. You know, I could have peeled this off without the transfer tape and moved it onto there, but then I would have had to pick up the eye socket and that little line. So, you know, with the masking on there, all three of these pieces go together and I don't have to worry about arranging them again. So that's why this stuff is so great. Okay, now we run into a problem. This will happen too. We're trying to peel, but the vinyl is stuck. Sometimes it doesn't want to stick to the masking, but here you go. If that ever happens, you can reapply pressure on the back side as well. And just apply pressure as much as you need so that it peels the right way. So let's see if I got it right. Okay, there we go. And once again, this one's so small, but I'm going to peel it halfway. Got my black. Going to center it on there. Apply pressure. Peel away the rest. La-di-da. Then peel the masking. Wow, look at that. And then this part is just the backing, so. And let's trim it down again. Let's round those corners. So there you have it. Got two stickers and I could have even made a third. But that's how you do it, using your marking pencils, craft knife, transfer tape, and a vinyl squeegee and adhesive vinyl to make some cool stickers. Hope you enjoyed that, and leave any questions or comments in the comment section. Have a good one.